All right. Now that you have a pretty good understanding of, more of an advanced breakdown of how Google works, the bidding strategies, let's dive into some strategy stuff, right? Now, strategy wise, I think this is the best way to kind of teach it is kind of show you how does it work in like a 2D model and then giving you some core account builds. So this video is going to be just a very basic understanding of what is my strategy. I call it the vortex model. How does it work? And then I'll do two videos of core account builds, one for e-commerce and then one for lead gen and like a local brand sense, just so you can see it built in real time and how does it actually work. So on the Google Ads strategy side, right? What is it? I call that Ads Vortex. I call this the Ads Vortex framework due to the structure of campaign types and then use cases inside of it. So why did I create it, right? So for the very first 1 to 2 years running Google Ads, I pretty much, at this point in your media buying journey and strategist journey, you are pretty much told what to do for most of these accounts. Kind of see what's working. Can you just improve it? But ideally, it's pretty much, hey, cold traffic and warm traffic. Cold being non-branded and warm being retargeting or branded, right? So it's very black and white, no real strategy with it. Just, hey, try to get some good qualified traffic, and that's pretty much it. And it worked pretty good. For most of the accounts I had by myself, freelancing, as well as that the agency I was working with, worked pretty well. No, standout accounts, but I did notice when I first got my feet wet with some more, medium-sized accounts, $1,000 a day or more. Then I noticed on the biggest account I had within the first year was an 80,000 a month spending SaaS client at the agency, and it just didn't work as nearly well as it used to. Sub maybe $500 a day and less. It was pretty easy and straightforward. But then once you get past that, if you hit a wall scaling in terms of maybe it's too expensive on the CPCs, the CAC isn't there, you run out of budget. There's certain instances that come up where cold and warm is not the same, and you need to kind of reach different people across different levels of intent and sophistication of the market, or you need to either create demand out of thin air and do that more outbound, right, with YouTube or display discovery at the time. Now it's demand gen, but it wasn't as cut and dry as I thought it was. So going now into kind of what I built, it's pretty simple. There's 5 layers. I truly believe is way better than the traditional marketing funnel of top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel. I'm not saying it's different. It's more segmented for PPC and Google Ads specifically. You can pause the screen and read it. Why I think it's better in terms of just breaking out a little bit. But here's what I want to really showcase. So I made it too small, so you can't really see the whole thing yet. But basically, this is a pretty bad graphic design of what I think about in my head. So think of it is this is like a 2D representation of how I really believe it. So at the again, it integrates with the full funnel. So you have top of funnel, middle funnel, and bottom funnel, right? But you have a specific segmentation here of how does it actually work for cold or warm traffic and different types of campaigns and subtypes of campaigns that you have inside Google Ads or Bing Ads or YouTube Ads. And how does that actually work, right? So now on the very top of funnel, you have growth, aka demand capture, or awareness as in demand creation. So on the Google spectrum, you can either capture intent where you want to bid, let's say if you're selling basketball shoes, you want to bid on basketball shoes as a term, and there's no brand associated, no product name associated, you can go after that, right? You can get those people that have never heard of you or potentially looking for a competitor, but you get them because you have a great ad that's relevant and enhances user experience. Versus you could go on the awareness side and demand creation and do more of the typical Facebook route. And through audience targeting, topic targeting, placement targeting, you can literally insert your ad in your product in front of someone who's potentially not searching for it at the moment, but could be a relevant audience who has been searching for it, looking at a competitor website, looking at, let's say you're selling basketball shoes and they just bought a basketball hoop. Now they need new outdoor shoes. Easy way to kind of get in front of them, right? So you're kind of creating that demand and you're not capturing it when it is at the right moment, right? So it's very easy segmentation there, but it's very top of funnel based. We're not doing any brand, anything, no warm existing traffic, nothing like that. Now we go down in this middle of the vortex area that I call the nurture or retargeting stage, right? This is where we want to re-engage with qualified traffic that is interested in what you have to offer and is in a relevant time period that is still in your sales cycle. Now, what do I mean by this? If you let's just go with the basketball example because it's pretty easy to kind of do that, right? If I'm selling basketball shoes and I have a user that came to my site a day ago, is it still a good idea to show them maybe a new offer, a discount, the same pair of shoes they're looking at with some lifestyle or maybe a video breakdown, but re-show and add to them? Of course. Is it still appropriate to show them maybe 2 weeks ago? Yes. 30 days? Yes. But now you're getting in the fringe of, if they're looking for a basketball shoe 30 days ago, they probably already made the decision. They probably bought one. Maybe they're testing a competitor out, and then maybe they might come back to yours. But highly unlikely, unless they're more affluent or upper class. If they bought a basketball pair, if a parent bought someone's shoes, they're probably not going to buy another pair of shoes for that school year. So you're probably best bet not doing anything else. Probably I would cut it probably at 45 days, to be honest. Not saying that you can't have good marketing campaigns, good nurturing campaigns past the normal sales cycle, but your time investment and money investment on that will diminish over a period of time. Now, if you're doing an enterprise level SaaS where the sales cycle is 6 months, and then throughout the entire 6 months, you're sharing white papers, sharing resources dedicated to them, and it's an ongoing sales process, and it's back and forth demos, and they're getting out of their 2-year contract they had with other previous. Of course, then you should be retargeting them for 6+ months. If that's your average sales cycle of 6 months, you should probably retarget them 9 to 12 months, maybe even longer if the average contract length is a year to 2 years. If they're interested in what you have to offer, you should be showing them social proof, how your product is better, different resources. Like, it can get very advanced, and that's where I love this middle nurturing, because it's very dynamic to every single product that I have or brand that I have. It could be very short, it could be very long, right? So it kind of really depends on the sales cycle of your brand you're working with. Then bottom of the funnel, you have two different types as well. Just like the top, it's mirrored. So the bottom, you have profit expansion and collection and protection. So let's start on the collection and protection side. So this one, I really, man, brand traffic, it's a blessing and a curse on the Google side, because you can really dynamically supercharge an algorithm on the Google side of like, hey, here's our brand traffic, here's your customer data, build lookalikes off this and use marketing, and just you can start a brand new account that's on $0 a day, get that to $1 million marketing channel. If Facebook's huge, and you're just giving Google all that customer data to kind of build a smart marketing segment of who are my customers, what are those Google profiles, how do they interact and stuff. But also on the other side, brand, you can spend too much on brand, and you're collecting people who are let's say I'm advertising for Nike, right? Let's say I'm spending $1,000 a day for Nike keywords, and they're coming in, I'm spending that money, but I could be wasting money. It could be cutting into the profit, because they could have gone maybe direct, through email, through organic, through social, through influencer, right? There's so many different sales paths, and this is where if you have a good attribution tool or utilize GA4 and really understand, okay, if I add $100 a day of brand, what's the incrementality movement of that? So say if I would want to start a brand campaign to try to see, hey, can I collect any more data through here? Do I have a lot of competitors in our brand terms and want to make sure we're on top of the page? I would really do a pre and post 30-day test and see, okay, let's say April 1st, I'm gonna run brand for 30 days and then see, did I get any incremental value of that? And what I mean by that is that if anything changed, that would not have changed if you didn't do anything. So let's say you ran brand for 30 days because it went to the brand. Let's say you spent like $10 a day, but you notice, oh, I'm only getting less than 10% search impression share. And I want to spend $100 a day, and now I'm getting 85% search impression share of my brand and getting 80% click share. So you're getting all the brand clicks now, and you have all your competitors. Did I add any incremental value through that in terms of revenue, new customers, or did I just lose? Let's say if you look at GA4 or another attribution tool, let's say you just lost 50% of direct revenue, and now it's 50% through that matches the 50% you added through a search brand, right? Easy way to test. You just got to look at your numbers, make sure, hey, did we actually still convert in traffic, and now we're just paying $1, $2 for that and cutting into profitability, or did we add it? Or it could even be a situation where it's a blend of both. Let's say, oh yeah, I lost some direct, but my AOV on my brand, since I'm sending them to a different product or to a bundle, is 50% higher than what the initial AOV is of a new customer coming through direct. Well, maybe it makes sense then to spend $1 extra for that click, because you can increase AOV exponentially or increase the conversion rate exponentially, right? There's so many different pros and cons. So you ever see on fucking Twitter that they say, oh yeah, you don't need to brand is you're wasting money in brands, Google tax. Yeah, it can be, but it can also be a great way to move the needle in terms of AOV. Could drop the CAC a lot. You can direct the messaging where you want what they want to see for this offer time of year, right? That SEO cannot do. It's pros and cons, just like every tool on marketing is pros and cons. You got to test it. So sorry for the rant there on brand traffic, but it is needed from most advertisers. I'm not saying you have to have it. You shouldn't be. This should not be your ever biggest campaign, honestly, unless you're maybe more of an enterprise level company that you're the leader and you have a lot of competitor traffic and you're really good built out competitor us versus them pages and stuff like that. There are ways to do that more on the SaaS side, but most of you guys don't need to worry about that. Just have a simple brand campaign to collect some traffic for some local businesses or smaller brands. And then the other bottom funnel campaign here is profit expansion. So this is for existing customers. Think email and SMS marketing, but on steroids with the Google ecosystem. So not a lot of brands get this because they're not big enough. They don't have enough repurchase value or repeat customers. But the ones that do, it works very, very well. And this is where you kind of really just match the same offer or have independent offers, but usually I just say, hey, let's test it, let's match. And whatever offers they're running in terms of to their email list, their SMS lists, their current monthly subscribers that they have, that kind of business, let's just match that same offer. They would get an email or SMS and show them on a display ad or show them on a video ad. With the goal usually being to either get another purchase or to upsell or cross-sell to different products or product types that would enhance each other. And that normally would be, let's say, for example, you're a home furniture company, or let's say with a basketball shoe, right? That makes sense. This is where I would say, all right, basketball shoe, we just sold them a basketball shoe 15 days ago, 14 days ago. Can we show them a cross-sell to new socks or new laces or just customized socks that match the same color, right? There's so many different ways you could really segment this, but it doesn't make a lot of sense on the Google side unless you have thousands of people to do this with. That's why I usually keep it more general and do, all right, we have a sale coming up, or a new product launch. Easy way to do it. But if you only have, let's say 100 purchasers a month, it's not going to be really worthwhile because it won't even really spend on Google without a couple thousand customer lists to target that. So it's probably better just keeping an email and keep it maybe a generalized remarketing or generalized profit expansion for upcoming huge sale or a new product launch or a seasonality push of something X, Y, or Z. So yeah, that's the Vortex framework, right? Pretty easy, pretty simple, pretty sick, if I do have to say. And let's just walk through it again and kind of give you some real-time examples of it. So level 1 is awareness, right? Top of funnel, right side of demand creation. Doesn't really matter, to be honest. But what are you doing? You're hijacking attention and pushing offers to create demand. Example, like what Facebook ads or YouTube ads do. Here's an example, we're a health insurance provider. We're targeting retirement age seniors. And our ad example is pushing a YouTube video ad to people who are about to retire. It's a Google audience and that hits possible pain points. We're getting in their way, but it's still relevant for them. Level 2 is growth. What are we doing? Capturing the intent of people looking for your offers in a cold sense, so they're not looking for your brand or itself. Let's say we're doing Nike's ads, we're targeting basketball players. The ad example is showing a shopping ad of one of our products. People searching for men's basketball shoes. So we want to get them to convert on our product. Level 3 is nurture, right? So what are we doing? We're showing ads to people who have shown interest, engaged with your brand, but have not converted yet. There's many levels of different engagement you can segment, and it really depends on how much traffic you have, right? So you can either product page visitors or abandoned checkout visitors for e-commerce, or you could do, they clicked on a in-depth blog and download a white paper for lead gen, right? Let's say we're doing Google Ads agency, we're targeting e-commerce brand owners. We target past website visitors who download a case study. We're targeting them with a display ad showcasing other case studies, right? Just to kind of showcase your social proof. Level 4 is collection and protection. What are we doing here? People searching exactly for the product brand they want, making sure you appear in a case, a higher amount of competitors. I'm not sure. Let me rethink that. What are we doing here? Oh, my bad. So let's just redo. Come on. 2 different things. So people searching exactly for your product brand they want, making sure you appear in case of a high amount of competitors on your brand itself, and also get ready to control what offers warm traffic sees. You can do faster updated and organic messaging, and you can send them exactly where you want them to go and not just your homepage. Crazy, right? So you can see special offers. And then also, let's just say I'm targeting myself, future agency owners. I got people search Google direct for Collin Schmelebeck, and an ad pops up with a special offer to these people, right? Very easy to think about. And then lastly is profit expansion. What are we doing? Sending offers to existing customers only. Think email, SMS, marketing with Google Ads, upsells, cross sells, new product launches, upcoming promotions, reorders, right? Let's say it's a supplement brand. If you know, hey, on day 45, they should be through the first bottle, hit them with more messaging. The example here is existing customers target last 2 months subscription churners. Let's say they churners, right? That's an easy way to kind of get them back on. Do a monthly subscription box. We target past monthly box churners with a new offer on a, let's say, 25% discount, and with products that usually have low churn to just get them back on a recurring revenue plan to build an MRR. So that is the breakdown of strategy. In the next video, I will talk about actual core account builds for both e-commerce and lead gen. Hopefully that makes sense.